From creepy DM to wedding planning, the surprising journey of love and destiny. Hey Reddit, throwaway because I'm feeling weirdly guilty even writing this. So here's the deal. I'm to 7F, married my best friend 28 meters about a month ago, and we had this amazing wedding. One of my close friends, Emily 25F, is a wedding planner, so we hired her company to handle the whole thing. She was a guest, but had her team there to coordinate, and they were awesome. Honestly, everything went smoothly, no complaints on the wedding day. One of her assistants was this guy, maybe in his early 30s. He was super professional the whole time, so I didn't think much of him. I was just focused on enjoying the day, with my husband, family, and friends. Fast forward to last weekend. I'm hanging out with Clara, another close friend, to 6F for the first time since the wedding. We're catching up, and she suddenly says, "I have to tell you this funny story from your wedding." Here's the story. A few days after the wedding, Clara gets this random follow and DM on Instagram. It's from the guy who was one of the wedding assistants. He introduces himself and basically says that he noticed her during the wedding, thought she was really pretty, and wanted to ask her out, but he mentioned that he didn't get the chance to ask her right then because he got busy with wedding stuff and even had an emergency call to deal with right after the event. So he ended up searching her online and decided to message her. Clara was kind of weirded out at first. She said she wasn't uncomfortable enough to get upset, but it was definitely a little off-putting, and she just blocked him. She told me she thought it was funny in hindsight, but I could tell she was still a little uncomfortable with the whole thing. So now I'm left wondering, should I tell Emily about this? I don't want to cause unnecessary drama, but at the same time, this guy was hired by us to do a job and it doesn't sit right with me that he did all this. Clara seems to brush it off, but I'm kind of shaken by it. I don't want to overreact, but I also don't want to ignore it. Would I be an asshole if I told Emily? What do you think? Update: the wedding assistant drama. Hey y'all, just wanted to update you on what happened after I posted. Thanks so much for the support and advice. It really helped me figure out what to do. So, after reading through all the comments, I decided to tell Emily about what happened with the wedding assistant. She was really upset to hear about it, but she appreciated me being upfront with her. She promised she'd handle it and look into it with the company. Fast forward a few days, the guy actually reached out to Clara and apologized. He said he realized what he did was inappropriate and was genuinely sorry for making her uncomfortable. Clara told me that she wasn't mad anymore, but she definitely wasn't interested in anything beyond that. Everything seemed to die down after that. The guy didn't bother her again, and I thought that was the end of it. But here's the kicker. About 7 months later, Clara ran into him at a local coffee shop. She said she tried to ignore him, but he came up to her and apologized again, face to face this time. He told her that he realized his actions were really out of line and that he had grown a lot since then. They ended up talking for a while, just catching up, and he seemed like he genuinely meant what he said. I was a little shocked when Clara told me, because I thought this was all behind us. But now Clara's actually thinking of giving him a chance. She said he seemed like a nice person, and she's willing to let him prove that he's changed. I honestly didn't expect this turn of events, and I'm a bit torn. I know Clara has every right to decide who she wants to give a chance to, but I just never saw it going this way. I guess sometimes people do grow and change, and it's been enough time that I'm hopeful it's sincere. Anyway, I'll keep y'all posted if anything else happens. Thanks again for all your input. Final update: Clara and the wedding assistant now fiancé. Hey Reddit, just wanted to give y'all one last update because things have taken quite the turn. It's been a while, but here's the scoop. So, after Clara ran into the wedding assistant at that coffee shop, they continued talking and eventually started seeing each other more. He really seemed to make an effort to show how much he'd grown from the situation, And it wasn't just empty words. Over time, he really proved himself. They built a strong connection, and now, almost a year later, they're officially a couple. At first, I was kind of skeptical, understandably, right? I mean, they started out on a weird foot. But watching their relationship unfold, I've honestly been really impressed with how mature and respectful he's been. He's genuinely supportive of Clara, and she's happier than I've seen her in a while. And here's the crazy part. Just last week, he proposed to her. Yep, you read that right. Clara said yes, and now they're planning a wedding for next year. They're already looking at venues, and Clara's been sending me dress ideas. I'm kind of in shock at how fast everything's moved, but in a good way. It's honestly kind of sweet that they're both so sure about each other now. When Clara told me about the proposal, I was actually a little emotional. I never thought I'd be witnessing all of this, especially after how everything started. But it's clear they've both worked through the past, and they're genuinely in love. I think it's one of those rare cases where people can grow, make amends, and actually come out stronger for it. As for me, I'll be helping with the wedding planning, of course. Who would have thought that the wedding assistant from my wedding would be planning his own with my best friend? It's wild how life works out. I'm really happy for them both. So yeah, I'll probably be sharing wedding details soon. Maybe I'll even be a bridesmaid at the wedding I never saw coming. Who knows? Either way, I'm just here for the journey and excited for what's ahead. Thanks again for all your advice and support during this whole thing. This has definitely been one of the most unexpected love stories I've ever witnessed, and I'm glad you all got to be part of it, even if it was just through a post.